Hey, Michael with XForcePC here to talk to you about using iPads on the Ultimate package. We normally cover this information in a post-sale video, but I've been getting a lot of pre-sale questions about, well, how do you mount the iPads and what size iPads can you use and what ones are compatible and etc. etc. So, let's talk about that. First of all, the space over here is not as big as the space over here. Okay, so this is the space right above the yoke. You can, any iPad, not the 12-inch Pro, but pretty much any other iPad will fit here. And so basically it just needs to be an iPad that can run the Air Manager app, which should be any Retina iPad or later, which maybe was the 3rd generation, maybe 4th. I can't keep them straight. There's so many different iPads and they all basically work the same, and anyway, it's hard to keep up with it. But any iPad, again, that can run the Air Manager app that's not the 12-inch, Pro version will fit here and work here. Now over on this side, there's less space available. So I've got here, this is like a Retina iPad, I think it's a 3rd generation. And I don't know if you can see this or not, but this iPad is about a ½ an inch wider. So see how far down it comes on the switch panel? Hopefully you can see that. But it's about ½ an inch wider than the iPad Air. So over on this side, you're going to have an iPad Air or later. So that'd be an Air or an Air 2. Probably the iPad Pro, as long as it's the same dimensions. The 9-inch version of the iPad Pro, as long as it's the same dimensions as the iPad Air, will fit there. So the other thing is, how do you mount it? So what I did is I just went out and bought two of the cheapest or relatively cheapest book covers I could find. Your iPad goes in here, and then you have just this flap that kind of closes over it. Now this particular one isn't very good. I'm just using this for an example, because this one actually has a function in here that lets you swivel the iPad around. You don't want all that. You want just a flat back on the thing, just a smooth flat back. You don't want all this other extra stuff here. But what I did is I just bought some basic book covers, and I just sawed off this part right here. Just cut it off. And so all I was left with was the part that holds the iPad. You want it to be kind of stiff and everything, because what you're going to use is on the back of this, you're going to put some 3M double-sided tape. So just go, you can find that at Target, Walmart, online, Staples, Office Depot, Lowe's, Home Depot. They all sell it. It's the 3M adhesive. You want the real strong kind. I get the outdoor rated stuff. You do not want to apply that directly to your iPad, because it would be so difficult to remove. You'd probably bend and break the iPad because it holds pretty strong. So don't mount the tape directly to the iPad. The other option is you could use Velcro, but I'm not a big fan of Velcro. I don't like Velcro, so this is the way I do it. So just to reiterate here, in the middle, pretty much any iPad that will run the Air Manager app, as long as it's not the 12-inch iPad Pro. Over on the left, it's going to have to be an Air or later. Air, Air 2, and then whatever comes after that. And just check your dimensions. If you're not sure, go check the specs out on the iPad Air or Air 2, the measurements. And you can always measure it against whatever iPad you currently have on hand. If you're buying an iPad, again, Air or Air 2 or later is what you want, and not the 12-inch iPad Pro. And then to mount it, a book cover, and just cut the flap off and mount that. And then you can actually take your iPad out of the book cover and take it away with you, and so you don't have to leave it in the SIM all the time if you don't want. So that kind of gives you a little flexibility there. Hopefully that helps clear up how the iPads mount, what iPads you can use, and helps you get all your ducks in a row. That's the only thing that doesn't come with the system, is the iPads.